what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark. So, this is probably going to be one of the last concert review type videos for a while. I have no shows coming up in the future yet. So I wanted to just get on here, and this one will be a little bit of a spoiler as far as some of the songs and music and the show. But this week, it's about Steve Vai. Saw him in Albany in the Egg, which is a theater up in the Capitol. Very small, very intimate. I had no idea how small it was and how intimate it was until we walked in, and I realized how close we actually were to the stage. Sometimes with these reviews, I really don't know what to say. You know, music is very personal. It's a personal thing for each individual in the show. Even two people sitting right next to each other aren't going to have the same exact experience. But I just kind of want to document this and talk about this show because the concerts have kind of gone in this order. The first show, Porcupine Tree, this year. Porcupine Tree is more, I feel like, my brother. It's music that I really can associate with. I feel extremely connected to. Just the style and the writing and the sound and the musical landscape it creates. From there, me and my wife went to see My Chemical Romance, a band I've seen many times. And it was great to see them. Just amazing with my wife. It's one of my wife's favorite bands. Then a couple weeks ago, it was Iron Maiden with my son. Iron Maiden is one of my favorite bands growing up. Just a band that will always hold place in my heart. Steve Harris is one of my favorite musicians and bass players. Great songwriter. So it was really cool to be able to see that and experience that with my son for the first time because I've never seen him. This one was a little special for me. I've seen Steve Vai one time before, and man, I can't remember the year, but it was when he was playing with Whitesnake. I've been a fan since Flexible, which is 80, 81, 82, something like that. I can get the album and figure it out, but it doesn't matter. I've always been a fan of Steve Vai. I've always supported him throughout the years, through all of his music. He's probably on this group of bands, musicians that I've seen, probably one of the most influential because his music is diverse, quirky, whatever you want to call it. Some people will put him in the shredder guitar category. I can't. I don't see him that way. He certainly has some elements of that in his music, but I don't see it. I find it very melodic, very quirky, very all over the place. Especially if you listen to Flexible, there's elements of the shredding and fast music in there, but I don't feel that it's shredding and fast playing just for the sake of playing fast. I remember growing up, I had a friend of mine who was a great guitarist. He would say, Steve Vai does not play with feeling. And I remember getting an argument with him because he's not that player. He plays with so much feeling and so much emotion. At least I get that from his music. Even my wife was like, you can tell he loves, it's like the guitar is a connection of him. So, not a shredder. He can shred, yes. I feel his music is just very melodic. So, that being said, on to the show. We got there, and I was completely surprised at how close we were. The stage was set beautifully. I'll try to get some pictures in this one and maybe a couple video clips. Very intimate. The stage was just, to me, it was this perfect experience. This was perfect setting for what was about to come. No opener. Started at 8 o'clock. If there's one thing that I don't want to say I can't stand or I hate, but if your show is supposed to go on at 8 o'clock, you start at 8. There's a lot of bands and older musicians out there that, oh, you're supposed to start at 8. They come out at 10. To me, that's extremely disrespectful to the audience, to people that have been waiting. That's all I'll say about that. But 8 o'clock came out, and I could actually see him because we were more stage left. I could actually see him on the side of the stage getting ready and kind of trying to excite the audience. And he came out, and he was amazing. Even if you don't like guitar-based music that with no singing, I think you could enjoy the show. And my wife loved it. She thought it was incredible because Steve belongs on the stage. You can tell that that's where he's supposed to be. You can tell he loves performing. He loves playing. A lot of people call him a virtuoso. I heard a lot of boom notes in there, but it didn't matter because to me, and I've watched many interviews, and he's got a great YouTube channel where he did a lot of talking, and Steve seems like a very humble, very down-to-earth individual, and I can appreciate that almost more than his musical ability. So the songs were amazing. He played a little bit of everything from all his albums, except, and this is my one criticism of the show. It didn't really change how I felt about it, but he didn't do anything off of Flexible. He didn't even do the Attitude song. One of my favorite songs from him. I thought that was a missed opportunity. I'm sure he's probably tired of playing it, but since I think with the re-release of Flexible and I think it was 30th anniversary not too long ago, at least having some piece of celebration of Flexible would have been great. I would pay to see him play that album front to back. I absolutely love that album. Weird. I know a lot of people don't like it because it's very weird, very Frank Zappa-ish, but I love it. It's an album that was recorded in his studio. He recorded back when that's not what people were doing. So that album holds a place in my heart, and I really wish he would have played something off of that. He played quite a few songs off Passion and Warfare and all his the other albums in between there. Sometimes, and again, I'm not just going to praise musicians that I truly love and are inspiring, but if you listen to a lot of his albums, there's some same, there's borrowed melodies, there's some borrowed things from other albums, but they all each have their own character. One of my favorite albums from him, other than Flexible, was Alien Love Secrets. He did play a couple songs off of that. Spoiler alert, Bad Horsey, I think, is a part of the show where, again, I think he's showing his humbleness, that he is humble and that nothing is perfect. I didn't look at any videos going into this show to see his song list or what he was playing, but I did see a video where Steve Vai's guitar is out of tune going into Bad Horsey, and so he kind of starts it over. There was something similar to that in Bad Horsey. The video starts, again, spoiler, it's Crossroads, the scene with Ralph Macchio and I forgot his name, the guy who plays the devil or whoever, the guy who makes the choices. That scene just before they get to Jack Butler. Steve comes out with his guitar with the light up inlays, and he's about to start to play Bad Horsey, and his guitar doesn't work. I think it's part of the show. I don't think his guitar did not work. But it was kind of cool. He got to introduce his new tech who was starting to work with him, and it gave him an opportunity to just talk, which I love Steve Vai. I can listen to him talk for hours. He's very intelligent, a very spiritual, of just a great guy to listen to. He's got great insight. He's been all over the world. So he started talking in Bad Horsey, and of course the guitar starts working and they start over. So I do think that's a little part of the show. I don't think that there was problems at the level of Steve. I don't think your guitar is just going to stop working. But it was cute. It was something to break it up. And again, I think it was a nice thing to show that nothing is perfect, and those things could happen. It could very well have been a problem, but for some reason, I don't think so. He went on to play for 2 hours. He gave his band, Jeremy Colson, Philip Baio, Dave Weiner, he gave them all opportunities to shine and do solos, and he stepped out of the spotlight, and it was amazing. They were just great. Jeremy's drum solo was awesome. He started with a didgeridoo, which I thought was great. And nothing was long. It was just enough to showcase Jeremy, Phil, and Dave, and these are the guys that I'm playing with. And you can tell his respect for them and his enjoyment of listening to them. So that was really cool. Philip is an amazing bass player. And Dave is an amazing guitarist. He called them Muscles. I forgot his name, but it was another gentleman who kind of played a little bit of keyboards in the background and who would kind of be off to the side every once in a while playing a guitar or some other instrument. So it was great. He actually even brought out, I forgot who he was, a Spanish gentleman, and he came out and he was singing along with Steve playing. That was amazing. I can't get into details because when I'm there, I just really want to experience the music and the excitement of seeing him. before all these amazing artists go away. I feel like I have been extremely fortunate and blessed to grow up in a time with all these amazing artists and share a piece of history and time with these awesome artists who have implanted in my musical DNA and my musical tastes. Steve Vai isn't something I always go to, but I can't say enough. I can't say the place he holds for me. His professionalism, his attitude, the way he's always done things his way and for himself, and his donations to this musical landscape. He's inspired countless guitarists. He plays and he's brought up Orianthi, McLaughlin, you name them. You name a modern day guitarist, and somehow Steve Vai is in there. He's worked his way into inspiring guitarists, and I feel he will continue. Again, they just did a video with Polyphia with Henson. I can honestly say I'm not a huge fan of that type of guitar music, and I really haven't listened to it, but that's how far-reaching Steve has become. Amazing guitarist, amazing human being, and an amazing show. Highlight had to be Teeth of Hydra. When they brought that guitar out, they covered it up, and you could see the lights, and he walked out, pulled the cover off, and the thing I thought was cool, instead of having a backing track, his band was there. Excuse me. Playing the drums. Philip was playing the bass parts that Steve wasn't playing on the Hydra. And Dave was playing some stuff there as well. But all the guitar parts and the main melody lines and solos from Teeth of the Hydra, Steve played and did not miss a beat. So that, to me, was the highlight. And just being able to experience what is greatness on the guitar. And again, just a lovely human being. I can't say enough. Merch, sure. I bought the newest album on vinyl. Support your artists. The great thing is his sons were there helping with merch, with backstage. You can see him. That's the great thing about this venue. It's so small and so intimate that you can kind of see a little bit of the workings. So that being said, it's probably going to be a while before I do another one of these concert reviews. Some people may think it's boring. This is just my opportunity to capture a moment. It's been 2 days, so I've had time to think about it and what it really means to me. It was great to share it with my wife. Excuse me. Who is a fan, but it's not what she normally listens to. And again, sometimes it's just going to experience and appreciate what your partner appreciates and show them that you appreciate it, and just deal with it. So that being said, we're heading into the holiday season here. I'm up in New York. I have to say I've been struggling for some inspiration lately. I don't know what it is. I kind of suffer from seasonal allergy disorder, I guess. I get kind of bummed when the seasons change and it starts to get dark. So I'm trying to use that as inspiration, but it also kind of makes me a little lazy. So I do have some things in the works coming up. So stay tuned for those. And other than that, if you want to like the video, go ahead and like it. If you want to subscribe, check out my other videos that I have, and we'll see you somewhere else along this journey. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.